Yes. All right. Yep. Yep. We're back at it again in the classroom. Sit down. Sit the fuck down. I need everyone. Pencils out. Papers out. Books out, please. This anime is very important. Very fucking important. So I need y'all. I need y'all to listen up. All right. Are we all seated? Are we good? Okay. Cool. Now, this week's episode is a long time coming. I've wanted to do this for God knows how long, and I finally piled up the shit. I rewatched the fucking thing just to be sure I got it all. So, are we ready? You just want to jump into it here? Yeah, yeah. Okay. This week's episode is Girls Band Cry. Not your typical. Yeah. Let me. Not your typical music band anime. It's not. It's not the like most lighthearted one. It pulls on some strings. It's not the most charming, I guess you could say. The most charming, right? So this one is one of my favorites. Like, I love all the characters very much, but we're not going to focus on all of them because they're not as important as the main one. I'll get into that momentarily. Okay? Yeah. I'm gonna be clear here. Be very clear about what this episode, well, what this show is and what it is not. I'm not gonna recap every episode because I want everyone to walk away from this and say, "Damn, he made it pretty clear that I should watch it myself." And what you're hearing now is the music from the show. I love all of it. Every fucking song is perfect. Okay? I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down to a point where you can understand that it's a lot more important than a lot of other shows. All right? You fucking turn that in, I'll fucking expel you. I swear to God. All right? Okay. Now I'm gonna do what most reviewers don't do. I'm gonna go underneath. I'm gonna fondle it a little bit better. Huh? I'm not gonna go surface level shit. I'm not gonna fucking be nice to it. I'm gonna tell you how it really fucking is. All right? So, yeah. So if you never, if you have seen the show, it'll make sense. But consider this not really much of a recommendation, but more of a warning. All right. Let's get into it. Let's just jump into it. All right. Anger is not the problem. That's the main point of this whole show. All right. You're not gonna fucking get angry at any of the characters because all their anger is justified. Every reason they get pissed and shit has a reason behind it. And that's just, it's not just some fucking angry shit fest. They have reasons why they're angry, all right? It's not you don't learn how to calm down, all right? It's not learning how to calm down, all right? It's about what happens after you being ignored long enough that anger becomes the only language left. You fucking just get shoveled with shit. You get beat down so many fucking times that the only emotion left is anger. And it makes perfect sense why. Okay? They're not all these characters are not misunderstood in a cute way. So they're dismissed, talked over, corrected, told to be quieter, nicer, easier to deal with. These characters go through some shit and it makes sense. Okay? It makes sense upcoming. Hang on, let me do that really quick. There we go. Yeah, and the show doesn't try to fix it. It doesn't soften it. It doesn't become a reward It doesn't reward emotional restraint. No, it does not. It channels how pissed people can get, or in these case, these characters can get. Just the shit that they go through this whole fucking show is almost impressive. Holy fuck. So, so let's just, make that very clear. It says, if no one listens when you're quiet, of course they're gonna get loud. And it makes you uncomfortable? Good. The discomfort is the point. Let's go over some of the key points, okay? Rejection is a starting point because after all the shit you go through, you sit down and you just say, I'm tired of this. I'm so fucking done. stop doing this to me. Anger is treated as valid. Yes. The best part of this whole show is that anger can be fuel rather than an explosive, pretty much. But they channel all that anger into music, which is not gonna be all end all to fix it. They just have the best way to channel it. So, this anime does not ask characters to calm down. It does not. It solidifies their emotions to it, and it pushes out in a vocal, well, music standpoint, I guess you could say. It's beautiful. It's almost impressive how good they nail that shit. Main character. We're gonna go over the main character here, the most important character, because I honestly believe, even though one of them's my favorite, that they're the most side of side characters. Nina Izuri is the pinnacle of that show, as well as the singer, I guess you could say. Yes, the singer, hence the microphone right here. Nina is loud, confrontational, emotionally raw. Fuck, she does not hold back at all. She throws fits. She's not nice. Sometimes she's a bitch. She pushes others away. She is just mean sometimes, but there is justification for that. Alright? There is a reason why she is mean to the people that, try to help her sometimes, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah. After her whole backstory explains so much of, wow, really? That happened? And she's still standing? Fuck, So yeah, refuses to make herself easier for others. Yes, when she has a topic or a subject thrown at her that she does not like, she makes it very fucking obvious that she doesn't like it, and she walks away from it. Especially her family. Oh my god, her backstory, like I said, her backstory is fucking intense. And it kind of makes a lot of sense why she's angry all the time. So, she's not angry because she doesn't want attention. She's angry because attention was denied when it mattered. She's been ignored a lot of shit. Her school sucks. She's been treated like shit. Everyone just hates the chick for no reason. And you just have to sit there and just relate. I mean, there has been points where you're like, wow, why is this happening to me? Are you fucking kidding me? That's her. So, yes. She makes the situation worse before they get better. And instead of asking why, the world around her does what it always does. It calls her difficult. She sits there, takes it, and as soon as she fights back, the world goes against her. It makes more sense if you watch it. Like I said, I will give you the basics of what the fuck it is, what's under the covers, and you have to watch it for yourself. So yes, Nina is one of my favorite characters because she validates her anger rather than just taking it on everybody. Sometimes. A lot of growth. There's a lot of growth in this. Ooh, lose my balance. Yes, so wants her pain acknowledged, not dismissed. She wants the world to know, fuck you. You treat me like this, and this is what you'll get. So, Nina refuses to make herself easier for other people. She doesn't compress her pain into something polite. She doesn't sand herself down to be acceptable. She's not asking for sympathy. She's asking to be believed. Again, like I said, her whole situation, I'm going to spoil a little bit at the beginning. She moves out of her family's place because it's so fucking bad over there that she had to literally get out at 17 to live by herself because her family is a horrible influence. They practically reject her for no fucking reason, all because she says no to them. There are fucking rules in the fucking, like, what'd you say where it was? It was in, like, the dining room. There's a plaque of rules that she had to follow because her parents said so. Like, stupid as fuck. So the show refuses to apologize for her because it understands something most stories won't say out loud. Anger does not come from cruelty, it comes from endurance. Because all you have to do is just fucking take it until you can't have enough, and you explode gracefully. Okay? Again, Nina is the embodiment of I can't take this shit anymore. I gotta do something about it. Okay? So yes, Nina is one of the most important characters. There are other characters to the show, obviously, which is Girls Band Cry, but focus on her. That's the most important part. Man, what the fuck is this bullshit? I will expel you. That's what this is. Hi, Earth. You're a little hostile, aren't you? Again, hey, perfect example. You're hostile because you're angry because you want to be heard. So does Nina. Makes perfect sense. Let's go over to the next slide. Now, rejection is systemic. That's a word. So yes, we're gonna talk about different ways to, get rejected, have rejection dealt in your situation. So let me read over the points and I'll break them down much better. Systemic, because I'm gonna ruin you. I refuse. That's the show. So institutional rejection, school authority, do it the right way. Like you have to follow the line or you'll be punished for it. Social rejection is being labeled difficult, dramatic, unconventional, fucking blah 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 blah. You if you go against society will go against you. It's fucking insane. So let's do, and then there's also creative rejection. Your voice is too loud, too much, not marketable, kind of like how Sabres Neighbors is or SNN is. Like, oh, your show is stupid because you're not funny, or you're a fucking furry, or all the other shit. That's how rejection is for me, pretty much. A, B, emotional invalidation, being told to calm down instead of being heard. Hey, you must bottle your emotions instead of dealing with them in a much more cohesive way rather than just being told to shut up when you have to. Okay, it doesn't work like that. So these are the rejections and being told to fucking shut up. Okay. The mistake people make is treating rejection like a single bad moment. One argument, one failure, one door slammed shut. Okay? Girls Band Cry makes it clear that it's bullshit. You reject being rejected, pretty much. The rejection here is constant. Yes. Oh my god. There are many points in that show where you're like, wow, I can't believe that happened, but they got rejected anyway. There's a lot of moments in that show where you have to sit there and just be angry at the show for having them being told no. It makes no sense. But that's how rejection is. That's how creativity and all the other shit gets thrown back at them. It's baked into school, authority, creative spaces, social experiments, social expectations. Sorry, words are hard apparently. Every system these characters exist in keeps delivering the same message. Be quieter, be easier, be marketable, be less. So yeah, their life just deals with just being told no, shut up, knock it off, all that shit, and they give two pinkies in the air back right at them. Again, I'm not going to explain why they have pinkies, but you have to watch the show for yourself to understand. I believe it's on Crunchyroll. Now, after all that shit that gets thrown at them, they keep getting back up. It's enduring how much they have to endure it. Kind of opens a lot of, windows for your situation, because if they can do it, so can you. So when you hear that long enough, it stops feeling like feedback and starts feeling like erasure. If you hear it so many times, you start to believe it. Until you keep rejecting it until you can't take any more of it and you fight back. So, Nina isn't reacting to an insult, she's reacting to a pattern because it happens so many times. She just keeps reacting to it over and over and over again until she can't take it anymore. And when rejection becomes the default state, anger isn't a breakdown, it's a rational response. Because, like I said, if you keep being told to stop doing what you're doing because it's too annoying, too loud, do it the right way, it's too dramatic, inconvenient, your voice is too loud, too much, not marketable, being told to calm down instead of being heard, what's the last emotion you have to fucking do before shit happens? Anger. Because society hates it. And you have to throw it back right back at them. You have to sit there and be like, I'm done. I'm not listening to you. I want to fight back with this. This is what Girls Band Cry is all about. But there's always two sides to the same coin. You would think that the band is, very well-rounded. There's no problems and all that shit. But music doesn't heal them. Music doesn't fix their lives. It doesn't make it easy. They don't become easier people. It gives their anger somewhere to go, because you have to sit there and being told even by your own band members that this isn't happening, or what are you doing, or shit like that. But they also have problems they have to deal with, and they make it very clear in that show why Nina has problems. There's another character named Mocha. There's one named Subaru and two other ones. But they all have different issues they deal with themselves, and they sometimes lash it out at themselves or to each other. Hence, what I'm going to go on. So, yes, it's all about survival, not really about healing. Because music is the one thing that keeps them grounded, despite everything that happened to them. So, people love to say music heals. That's a comforting lie, especially in this show. Girls Band Cry doesn't tell that lie. Music doesn't fix their lives, doesn't make them better, doesn't make them easier, but it does give their anger somewhere to go. Hence why their music sounds a little angrier, a little angry. Hence this one frame of episode like 3 or 4 is where that frame comes from. It's not really therapy. It's not really in a breakthrough moment either. They make noise because silence was killing them. They had to put my controller's vibrating for some reason. They had to put their anger somewhere. And what they're good at is making music. So they put all of their shit, all of their problems into just one key moment. They make a fucking band. They make the music. They put it somewhere. They put the anger somewhere where they can't put it anywhere else because they would get rejected and be butthurt and all that shit. It's not really about healing. It's more about survival. That's the key point. They have to put it somewhere. And it's a beautiful thing where they put it. So it makes sense. It's going to be a quicker episode because I just want to get this over with. Don't expect a long episode today. Plus, I'm tired as fuck. Next slide. But the band doesn't fix them either. There are a lot of moments where there's a lot of bickering, there's a lot of fighting, a lot of physical shit, a lot of disagreements. Despite all that, they still make music. It's often how many times they argue. Especially those two. Nina and Momoka have a lot of unresolved issues that they love to bring up. To a point where it's like, dude, like, come on. But it makes sense why they do it. But yes, pain doesn't magically resolve. Trauma isn't healed just because someone understands you. Or just because you have some problems that they get, you're not healed. It makes, whatever. It makes perfect sense. Let's see. So, yeah. They still argue, still hurt each other. They carry the same damage they walked in with. Momoka loves to make sure that they she lets everyone know that she's leaving and all that shit. And you're like, all right, are you really gonna leave or you're not gonna leave? Like, come on, makes sense here. So, yeah, Girls Band. Oh my god, the show refuses the fantasy that finding your right people fixes your life. Despite everything, they still hate each other, but they still love each other. What it shows instead of something harder to accept. Connection doesn't erase pain. It just means you're not facing alone. You have problems. Everyone does. and they can help you, but they won't fix you. You don't have to do it alone, but you don't expect them to magically just poof all your problems away. Which is honestly why they are so fucking close, because they love to relate to each other, to be honest. Nina has problems, Momoka has problems, Subaru has a lot of fucking problems. Yet they still stick around because they all have a common goal: not to do it alone. They want to face their issues with each other rather than by themselves. So, staying together isn't a cure, it's a choice, a decision to keep showing up even when nothing is resolved. Because no matter what you do, you still show up. No matter what happens, you still show up. No, what other issues you have to deal with, make sure you don't do it alone. That's the key point of all of that. The band is that close because they all have issues and they love to go and talk about it, to be honest. It's the only thing keeping them from falling apart. So it's beautiful how how sometimes the problem is there, it doesn't get resolved, but they still stick together. I like it a lot. It's really nice. These are great songs. I love this fucking band. All right. So yeah, staying together is a choice, not a cure. They keep showing up even when it's comfortable. Pain doesn't measure resolve. Trauma is blah 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 blah. It keeps the damage from being faced alone. That's the one biggest thing about this show. They don't do it alone. Okay. Any questions so far? Anything on your test that you are confused on? Is there anything you want to discuss before I go to the next slide? No? Okay. Next slide is also extremely important. Probably one of the more important ones. It validates anger instead of correcting it. A lot of music anime shows have one character that's an angry asshole, and they do their best to fix it to make them not a, what do we call this, a tsundere or just a bitch, and they magically poof, and then the character doesn't have any more feelings anymore. That one issue is solved. Girls Band Cry doesn't do that. It validates it, but they don't fix it or correct it. They keep it from exploding too much. They keep it, they keep the flow under control. So, yeah, it's nor a flaw or outcome, or a flaw to an outcome. It shows damage without romanticizing it. That's the one other thing a lot of animes do, is they worship the shit out of it, and it makes it the whole personality. Everyone has problems in this show. Every single band member has their own issue without being romanticized about it. Without spoiling too much, Subaru, the drummer, wants to be a big ass actor because her grandma is an actress, and Subaru doesn't want to do that. She wants to be in a band. The grandma's angry about it because it's not continuing the legacy or whatever, and Subaru hates that. Not spoiling that much. Okay. Let me slide down. It makes Goes By and Cry hit harder than most stories. Isn't the anger, it's the honesty that comes after it. Again, you sit there and you wonder what the fuck is going to happen to these characters because their issues are getting worse and worse, and you have to sit there and just wonder. I don't see why. It's kind of impressive, actually. How much they can endure all their problems and sit there and be like, alright, bring it on, bitch. That's the point. The show never pretends healing is quick, clean, or guaranteed. There are no neat breakthroughs, no moments where the damage just disappears. The pain stays throughout the whole show. Nina has a lot of issues, but she powers through them anyway because she has to. And her band members want her to do something. Let's see, another scene in the show. What's not spoiling too much, Subaru and Momoka, I think that, I hope they got that's their name, these two characters, before these other two show up, are in a stage waiting for her to show up. And they're like, all right, come on, let's do it. Hurry up, hurry up. We're on a tight schedule here. And then Nina just has to just fucking just goes on front of the stage and just sings her heart out. So that's pretty fucking cool how she did it. It's inspiring how Nina can just go and do whatever she needs to do, especially in the later episodes, because there's a lot of like oh fuck moments, and she powers through it. Again, Nina is the most important character I believe in this whole show, hence why she's the main character. But the other characters are just a little less important, but they help Nina on the journey. I'm dying. Let's see. Yeah, so either despite the arguments and all that and all the other shit, the consequences stay with them. They don't forget it. They don't just magically poof and that it's all solved. We're friends again. There are a lot of moments that are pretty tense. A lot of I'm going to leave moments. But again, Nina prevails, and that's not a word. Triumphs. There you go. Triumphs over all the issues and doesn't fix it, but kind of solves it in a way where everyone's still stuck together with each other rather than just saying fuck this and leaving. Especially the blonde one. And that's why it works. This is why the anime is very important, because if you have anger and problems and all that, which I know everyone does, it really solidifies that you're not alone on this. You have problems, you have anger issues, you have all these things that are happening to you, and if you don't do it alone, it gets easier. That's the point of the I believe that's the point of the show. That's why I took out of this. No matter what happens to you, if you don't do it alone, it gets better. Especially all 5 of them. So, this show understands that for a lot of people, healing isn't a straight line. It's messy, uneven, and sometimes incomplete. There are many points in the show where a lot of the problems keep going. Because, how some episodes are like the beginning, the peak of the problem, and then the drop. The drop doesn't happen as soon as the episode's over. It goes throughout the whole show. Especially Nina's problems, obviously. So you sit there and just wonder when is it, or if it'll ever resolve itself, or something will happen and the problem's over. Girls Band Cry doesn't do that. Girls Band Cry doesn't just resolve it as quick as an episode is. Multiple times, multiple problems consist. Especially Nina's. Instead of lying about it, the show treats survival itself as meaningful. Not progress, not closure, just continuing to exist. Like I said, you have to just wonder if the problems will be fixed. If you're not doing alone, that's the best part about it. That's what I love about the show. Let's go to the last slide of this episode. I cannot stress this enough when I say this show is not for everyone. Okay? It is a weird show. It has issues. I will say, if you do not like 3D anime, do not watch it. It is heavily 3D animated with some 2D anime aspects, which is pretty cool because you don't even notice it until you look for it. I rewatched it and I was like, oh fuck, that is 2D, but it blends so well. It's fucking cool. I can say not a lot of 3D animes are good, except for this one. This is the only exception I can think of. It's beautiful. I love it to death. So, who is it for? Who is this show for? For people who were told to calm down instead of being heard. For those whose anger came from being dismissed, not being cruel. Not for everyone who has survived. For everyone who survived without closure. Why am I getting added right now? Who's adding me? I'm in the middle of a fucking lesson. Who's so important? Whatever. Let's see. Uh, for people who don't need fixing, just recognition. They just want to be heard, not fixed. Girls Band Cry nails that in the fucking head. It is wonderful. It's pretty cool how it works. It is, what's the word? Kind of inspiring, to be honest. With all the problems that they fucking have, they just want to be heard. Hence the music part. They put their anger into the music, the band, and it goes. It's wonderful how cool it is. Now, who is it not for? That's the big question. Who is it not for? Not for viewers looking for comfort for storytelling. Right off the bat, it hurts. You actually, it's pretty cool how it kind of grabs your attention very quickly without giving away too much before the first episode ends. It's pretty nice. It's not for neat emotional resolutions. There are messy points in the show where you have to, again, you have to sit there and be like, damn, do they even fucking like each other? I do. Not for music heals everything narratives. That's for fucking sure. Because you sit there, you like the music, you love the music, but just what's underneath the surface of it all, it adds up. It's almost like disheartening at times because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the last two members are really going through it, and it doesn't get resolved quickly. I don't think ever it is. It's like a soft landing, I think. It's how they solve it. So, let's see. Girls Band Cry isn't trying to reach everyone, and it never pretends to. Okay? Cannot stress that enough. It's, you like it or you don't. That's what it is. It's not a comfort anime. It's not here to reassure you, and it's not interested in fixing you. You have problems. You will face them. It's not nice to you. It does not hold your hand. It's for people who were told to calm down instead of being heard. You're being shut up. You're being told to shut up instead of hearing it or solving it or fixing it or all that shit. It does not hold your hand. For people whose anger came from being dismissed, not from cruelty. If you're not being, heard, or all your problems are being pushed under the rug, that's where the real anger comes from. It's not the why am I being treated like this? It's like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you treating me like complete fucking garbage for no reason? Because I have problems you don't want to hear? Fuck you. And that's the that's the bottom line of the show. You're not being nice to me because of my problems. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, it's fucking it's also for people who survived without closure and kept going anyway. Very true about my own statement. It is not nice to you for not solving problems immediately. There are some problems that have underlying issues that were never resolved, never fixed, never disclosed. Your badass self keeps going anyway. You might never get the closure, but you go anyway. You sit there and keep on chugging. That's what Girls Band Cry does. It's and if that doesn't resonate with you, that's all good. The show isn't broken because it doesn't land for you. It doesn't suck because you don't find their problems, that was weird. Where was I? It's not very generous on that sense. It has problems. You'll notice the problems. You'll see the problems. You don't see them resolved. They keep going anyway. That does not mean the show's bad. It's just you don't resonate with it. If it's not your cup of piss, it's not their problem. It's not their fault. That's the hill I'm gonna die on. So yeah, it Girls Band Cry doesn't save its characters. It doesn't promise healing. It does something quieter and harder than that. It refuses to abandon them. Like I said, their problems consist throughout the whole fucking show, but not once does the show throw its hands up in the air for them. It does not give up on them. They do not give up on each other. Because there are a lot of points in that show where one of them tries to leave and the others refuse to let them leave. There are a lot of key points in that. It's almost impressive how how one of them wants to leave so bad but never does. Let's so yeah. It refuses to abandon them. That's the point of the show. That's how wonderful that show is. Now, that was a pretty quick episode, huh? I believe that was it. Is there any I seriously doubt anyone's really watching this episode. But it's something I wanted to do for a while. I love Girls Band Cry to death. I love it very much. It's like top 10 easily, top 5 even. Because it resonates with you. You enjoy it. You can fucking relate to it sometimes. It's especially Nina. Nina has some problems. She without spoiling too much. The context is she got bullied in high or whatever school it is. The family fucking practically hates her. Her friends try to solve shit, and Nina refuses to let that happen. Nina has some anger issues, I guess. Not really anger issues. She presents anger more common than most, which is given a reasonable, reason. She disagrees with something, she makes it clear, she leaves the room, she comes back, kind of regrets it. That part got resolved. So yes, that's what Girls Band Cry really is about. I love this show to death. I cannot recommend it enough. Again, hence why it's, on Studio C-17. Only the best fucking shows are on that one. I'm gonna make a couple more of these. I don't. None of them's really sticking. Like, I guess Golden Time would be a good one. Now, for all the 2 people watching, or even 1 person, because I turned viewer count off. Any questions? You got anything from this? You got any resolved issues? Yes? No? I'm not surprised that no one's watching this. But I loved it. I love making this. Studio C-17 is definitely one of my favorite shows because it, makes it fun. This is a fun show. Seriously, I doubt it. Well, if the classroom wants to be quiet, I'll let the classroom be quiet. Now, what's the next anime gonna be? No idea. I don't know. I have no fucking clue. I don't know. I figured it out. But bottom line is, bottom line is, if you want a very deep show with characters you resonate with really good music, watch this show. 10 out of 10. 100 out of 10. Like my favorite character, who's a side character, Momoka here. She has a jacket that I bought. I'm gonna fucking wear her jacket, bro. It's so lit, fam. On God, dead ass. Anyway, so like I said, watch the show if you like it. If you like anything any points I made, any reasons you're like, damn, that was a good show or good thesis. Watch the show. Okay? Like I said, this is a much more smaller episode than my usual ones, but this one deserves its own episode. I think I watched it like a year ago, and I rewatched it just for this. It's just a good show. Anyway, well, if no questions are there or any reasons at all, I am out of here. I'm tired as fuck. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you guys. I don't know. What am I doing? Christmas is soon. I don't know. I'll probably do like Elden Ring or something. I don't know. Yeah. Toodles.